Peace, YouTube. This is Sean Young, also known as Supreme. And on this episode, guys, we're going to be going into the 7 steps to a fast lease assignment. See you in a second. Peace, YouTube. I'm back. And on this episode, guys, we're going into the 7 steps of a fast lease assignment. And what a fast lease assignment is, guys, it's a great strategy that can be used, especially during this time with the coronavirus, when there's people who are in uncertain, positions with their homes that they have that are renting out. Some people might have lost their jobs and can't continue to rent and, might be vacating those properties soon. So you could be running into some motivated landlords that have, had those properties empty for, 3 to 4 months. And those are the type of landlords that we're looking for. So the first thing to do, guys, for a fast lease assignment is to market for motivated landlords. Again, landlords who have had empty properties for 3 or 4 months and are looking to fill those vacancies, but just don't have the ability, the motivation, or the desire to really go out there and make that happen right now because they're challenged with so many other things. So that's number one. Number two is we're going to negotiate an option to lease that property with that seller. So we're going to figure out terms. We're going to say, hey, listen, can we lease this property for 2 to 3 years, and then at the end of the lease we'll purchase the property, for the price that we've established, that we negotiate upon. But I don't want to really get that too deep, that far into that aspect of it, because you'll understand why later. But basically, guys, step number 2 is we want to negotiate an option to lease the property from that seller. And we want to come up with some great terms to do so. Number 3 is we want to market for qualified tenant buyers. And how do we do that, guys? We put out ads. We use the marketing tools that we have available to us to market that property. Now, what we do, guys, is we charge we have everyone fill out application fees and pay application fees. So they're going to actually go out, fill out that application, and pay the fee for that application. And we charge about $39 to do that, and that money goes to us. Now you say, well, do you actually run the credit? Absolutely, we do run the credit, but there's criteria that I put out there. And if that criteria, if you don't match that criteria, then we won't run the credit, but we will definitely take your application, because it's against the law to not take everyone's application out there, guys. You can't just turn down applications for no good reason. You have to have criteria set, and so we accept all applications, basically. So what we do is in our ads we say, hey, listen, we're accepting low credit, pets are okay, things of that nature, because you'll have a lot of more applications come through. And no, we're not just trying to trick people into paying application fees, because that's not. We never want to do things that are unethical. But what we are doing is we are trying to find the best candidate for this lease purchase predicament that we've established or set up for ourselves. So, guys, that's number 3. That's marketing for the tenant buyer. So remember, guys, on that, for the tenant buyer, we are having them fill out application fees. We are having them pay that application fee. And then we are picking the best candidate to fill in that property. Once we have that candidate, what we're going to do is we're going to now connect that tenant buyer back with our initial seller, and we're going to have them sign an agreement with each other. So we'll sign an agreement with the seller, and it's called an authorization to assign. So we'll have the ability to assign our agreement that we have initially with the seller to our new tenant buyer. Once we assign that to our new tenant buyer, then we have the tenant buyer actually sign the lease with the seller. So that now we're out of that deal altogether. Once they've signed that lease with the seller, you've been able to remove yourself from this transaction. So what do you get out of this? You get 1 month's rent. That's what I would try to shoot for, guys. You can try to be a little greedy and say 2 months, but you probably won't get it. But 1 month's rent is not It's not asking for too much. It's not unheard of, and it makes sense. You're helping them fill a vacancy and even finding a tenant buyer for this property, and your fee for doing that is 1 month's rent. So it's a win-win for everybody involved. The seller gets to fill this vacancy. The tenant buyer who's out here looking for a home gets to find a house, and you get to quickly make a quick assignment fee by assigning your agreement with the seller to your tenant buyer, and then having your tenant buyer and the seller sign the actual lease for the terms that they establish. So guys, I hope that helps. I'm going to be, again, coming with a series of these videos. This is only the second of multiple videos that I'll be coming out with. I actually don't know how many I'll put out within this lease option course or within the lease option series that I'm doing. But guys, they will be coming. So stay on the lookout. Keep that notification bell, mashed. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Please share this video with like-minded people or anyone who you think would benefit from the knowledge or from what I'm sharing here today, guys. So let me say one more thing before I let you guys go. Help me help you, help us all. Peace.
With this crown on my head, I'm seated on the throne. The top is so alone. Only thing that keeps me going is I know my city love me. I know my